Hey best friend, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for clicking on today's video. This is a lemonade Q&A. Disregard the noise you hear in the background. I have my son. Before I jump into the Q&A, I do want to give y'all a couple of tips. I have them wrote down. So first, you want to decide if you want to do deli containers or regular plastic cups. A lot of lemonade vendors are doing the deli containers like I am using currently. I'm actually thinking about switching to regular cups. There's different ways you can go about using regular plastic cups. You're not able to shape them. There's just a lot of different ways. If you guys want to know, just let me know, because I am going to be switching to regular cups soon. You want to decide if you're going to juice or wedge your lemons. I currently juice or wedge my lemons. I muddle my lemons. If you're not muddling, it's better to juice them. You have to just decide if you're going to juice your lemons and not have seeds and pulp, or if you're going to just do it, just cut them up, wedge them with the pulp and seeds. You want to decide if you're going to use fruit, fresh fruit, or flavored syrups like I do right there. And if you do decide to use flavored syrups, I would recommend to use 1 to 2 flavors starting out. Just to get yourself used to, get your money up and things like that, and then expand to more if you want to. I recommend keeping your menu simple. I had 10 flavors and I'm currently going down to 6. That's 6 right there. I'm going down because I just want to keep my menu really simple. I don't want so much going on my menu that my customers like overwhelmed with so much on the menu, and it takes them longer to order and things like that. There is ways to work around that if you do decide to add a ton of flavors. There's so many flavors to choose from. I would recommend going a couple feet up from your tent and maybe put a stand with your menu on there. That way, if there's a line, people further in the line can see the menu before they get to you, if you get what I'm trying to say. I just picked my best sellers, and that's what I got right there. And the last tip I have is to make sure you test your lemonades before you serve them. A lot of people are using the same recipe as 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 lemon, and everybody's doing it. I did go by that recipe at first, but I actually tested it out and it was not enough sugar, honey. Not enough sugar. And my customers have always been asking me for more sugar, so I just ended up upping my sugar intake to 1/3 of a cup, and it has worked perfectly. It's the perfect amount of sugar. I guess it just depends on your lemon, but they can get pretty sour. So 1/3 of a cup. I think some people even use 1/2 cup, y'all. That's a bit much for 32 ounces. But so these next things you're going to be needing, depending on your health department and your Department of Agriculture, just for your business in all. A lot of y'all will probably need all of these or some of these, and some of these are required and some of these aren't required. So you want to register your business name, you want to get your EIN, which is employee identification number, you want to get your LLC, a tax certificate, a health inspection, a business account, a liability insurance. If you have a trailer insurance. So if you guys want to know where to start when it comes to supplies, if you don't have that much money to start out with, I do have a video for budget. It's just budget friendly. And I also have another one for people that have a little bit more to invest. So make sure you check those videos out when it comes to ordering your supplies. I highly recommend TikTok. That's where I did a lot of my research when it comes to my lemonade. So I know my videos have been really helpful. I'm probably the only one on YouTube so far that has lemonade videos out there. So when I was doing my research when I first started, I didn't see no videos on YouTube about lemonade. It was all on TikTok. So definitely make sure you check out TikTok. There's so much content on TikTok about lemonade business. Also, I highly recommend following groups on Facebook. There's 2 of them that I am in. It's called Lemonade Besties, and the other one is called Lemonade Slingers. It's so helpful, y'all. The lemonade community is everything. Everybody's helping everybody out. I'm not even gonna lie, making these videos like this, I love helping people, and this is where I learned I don't mind sharing the info. And at the same time, I was thinking to myself, is this a good idea? Because I don't want to get oversaturated with lemonade vending, but at the same time, it's just enough for everybody to eat. It's enough for everybody to eat. So jumping into this Q&A, some of these Q&A questions are questions you guys have asked. Some of them are questions that I always wanted to know when I first started out. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions, just list them in the comment section, and I'll probably just go ahead and answer them, because I don't think I'm gonna make another Q&A video besides this one. I might, I don't know. But let's get started. A lot of people ask, how do you get started? I'll probably say this a couple of times in a couple of videos. Make sure you call your local health department and Department of Agriculture. Make sure you call them. That's the very first thing you need to do before you buy anything, before you even do any research. Call them and ask them what licenses and permits you're going to need to sell, because I mean, different places you can't even sell like in a tent. There's just so many different rules and regulations. Like, you really need to check with them first before you do anything. Like, don't waste your money buying supplies and you end up not being able to sell. So that's how you get started. Once you do that and you start needing supplies and stuff like that, then that's when you come check out these videos of mine. The best flavors to start out with, in my opinion, number one is strawberry. Like I said, if you're just starting out, I would do 1 to 2 flavors. If you're only gonna do one, definitely do strawberry. If you're gonna do 2, I would highly recommend strawberry and maybe blue raspberry. So deli containers or regular plastic cups. Like I said, it's really your preference. The deli containers is what everybody's using. It's probably the fastest way. I mean, using the regular plastic cups will take it just maybe a second or 2 longer, but in my opinion, the regular plastic cups, you're crystal clear versus the deli containers. They're like got a little frost on them. They're transparent, but they're not crystal clear, you know. And myself, I prefer to have my lemonades, the color of my lemonades, to like shine through. Like, I think they're so beautiful, like the colors and stuff like that. It's just the presentation is everything. So that's why I want to switch over to plastic cups, but it's just really your preference. You can go either way. When it comes to juicing your lemons, again, it's really your preference. A lot of people don't want their lemonades to have the peels and the pulp and the seeds. That's when you go to juicing. You'll also have some customers that prefer it that way. If you don't want seeds and pulp, definitely go to juicing. And if you don't, if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, that's when you go to slicing. And I prefer the old-fashioned way. So it's really just a preference thing. Simple syrup or granulated sugar. Now, this is a question that I really don't have the answer for, because I've never used simple syrup. I don't think I'm gonna use simple. I might try it one day, because I've been hearing a lot of people say that simple syrup doesn't taste as well as granulated sugar. And I know a lot of people don't like that gritty taste or that gritty feel or whatever, the texture or whatever. I mean, that's how old-fashioned lemonade is made anyway, but simple syrup is supposed to be like faster. When making lemonades and stuff in production, it's supposed to make your production faster, which is probably true, but again, this is another preference thing. It depends on what you want to do. I want to test it myself, because just because everybody, or not everybody, some people are saying that simple syrup doesn't taste as good, doesn't mean that it doesn't taste as good. So I might try it out one day and see how I like it. But for right now, I mean, I love, using granulated sugar. And if you don't use granulated sugar, you're not going to be able to muddle, really. Sorry if y'all see me looking around like I'm trying to keep my eyes on these people, honey. I don't want to be talking to you guys and I have a customer just standing. What else could you sell with lemonade? So there's a lot of options you can sell with lemonade. This is fair style lemonades that I make, so you can add a lot of fair items. I mean, just a lot. There's a lot of options, you guys. Hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, cotton candy, candy apples, apple nachos, dirty sodas. So a good way to find events is online. So you can go on Facebook, really, and you can type in wherever you're from. Like, for example, I stay in North Carolina, so I can type in, or just Google North Carolina events in North Carolina, or wherever city you're from, or county, or whatever. You can find that. There's probably some Facebook groups of events in your county as well. Like, it's just really just a search thing. And then when you do set up, when you first get started, I would recommend doing flea markets and farmers markets and things like that, just to get some practice in before you actually start doing events. And sometimes when you set up at the flea market or the farmers market or something like that, you have people actually coming up to you, inviting you to an event, like giving you info on events that's coming up. I had that happen to me a ton. I had people coming up to me, want me to go to an event they're having. So, and then I actually had some customers that knew about events coming up, and they was like, "Are you going to this event?" And I'm like, "No." Like, tell me about it, and I'll actually go Google it, look it up. And then on the event page or the flyer, you'll see like contact info for the event coordinator and things like that. So Where can you set up? Like I said, I would recommend when you first starting out to set up at the local flea market or farmer's market, somewhere really small. That way you can get your practice in, and then do events. Other places you can set up, I haven't tried this yet, but you can like go to a business that you know see a good place to set up at, and all you gotta do is just walk in, ask to talk to the manager, and ask them about setting up, you know, in front of their business. I mean, that either they can say yes or no, and if they say no, just go somewhere else. How to know how much product to bring at an event. You find out how long the event is, and what you need to do is time yourself on making a lemonade. Times that, just figure out how much you can make it in an hour, how many lemonades you can make in an hour, and times that by how long the event is. For example, I can make a lemonade in a minute, so that puts me at making 60 lemonades, roughly 60 lemonades in an hour. Times that by a 4-hour event, you know, it's 240 lemonades that I can make. So that's how many lemons you're going to bring. Well, I wouldn't bring the exact amount. I would bring maybe 20 or 30 more lemons than what you can make an hour, because you got to think of waste, like you dropping a lemon, or, you know, just stuff like that. You got to factor that in as well. Do straws have to be in a wrapper? It really depends on where you are. I feel like, personally, I feel like they should be wrapped, because imagine, you know, especially if you have it where the customer grabs their own straw. I mean, imagine grabbing a straw, like an unwrapped straw from somewhere. It's like, you know how many hands has been over there? Like, people don't wash their hands sometimes. So imagine somebody didn't wash their hands reaching to grab them a straw, and you come behind them and you reach for a straw. Like, ew. I was doing unwrapped straws, but I was putting them in the drinks myself with gloves on. But since my gloves can get really sticky at times, I prefer to use wrapped straws. And there's a technique you can use. I wouldn't get the get a plastic wrapped straws. I would get the ones that paper on them, the white paper. That way you can, like, it's a technique you can use where you just rip it, and just like the paper is still on the tip where your hand is, and you put it in the drink, and then when you lift up, you can lift the paper up and then hand it to them. That's a technique you can use with wrapped straws. So when it comes to syrups, there's different name brands. They have Monin, Torani, Da Vinci, or Finest Call. I've never used Finest Call or Da Vinci. I really want to try the Finest Call because I think they have a lot of purees. If I'm not mistaken, I think all of them are purees. And purees is probably a lot. I'm thinking they taste a lot better. All my syrups are Monin and Torani. I prefer Torani. As you can see, I only have one Monin back there. I did start out with Monin, and I switched over to Torani. And the reason why I switched was because I feel like Monin syrups is like weak. Like they're not as strong. Some of them are stronger than others. Versus like Torani, all of them are about the same, because I do 4 pumps of syrup of Torani, and then like I had 3 Monin syrups, and one of them took 3 pumps, one of them took 7 pumps, one of them took 5 pumps. I did take different pumps just to actually try them out every time. Buy me some Torani. 4 pumps most of the time I do it. Does the plastic go through cup when punched? So when you're using deli containers, obviously there's no hole in the lid, so you have to use a hole punch to punch the hole through. And a lot of people are wondering, where when you punch the hole through, does the plastic fall in the cup? No, it does not. When you punch it through, it creates like a tab. So it's not a full circle it's not a full hole in the lid. It's just like a semicircle, or whatever, if that makes sense. If y'all want me to demonstrate, I will do a little shorts video just showing y'all that the plastic doesn't go in. If it does go in the cup, then your hole puncher is sharp, honey. It's really sharp. How to go about pricing. So really just do your research and see what everybody else is pricing their lemonades at, but it really depends on your location. Like where I'm from, I don't have the population is really low, and like people here are broke and things like that. So the lowest I've seen lemonades go for just a regular lemonade was $5 for a 32 ounce. I've never seen it get any lower than that. I started to do that amount, but I just went up to $6 just, you know, to get a good feels about it. Like, I didn't really want to do 7 or anything higher than that, because honey, I seen them get up to $10 just a regular 32-ounce cup of lemonade. It goes up to like $10, since some people charge $10. Yeah, I don't foresee me getting that high on just a regular lemonade. You know, I tried $6, and I've been stuck with that price since I've been doing it for 6 months. A lot of people have been buying my lemonades. I mean, I had a couple of people, even if you did go as low as you can go, $5, honey, you can charge $3 for a lemonade, for 32-ounce lemonade, and people will complain. Like, you can't satisfy everybody. That's one thing you got to learn about this business, or businesses in general, is you can't please everybody. How to keep sugar from settling. So if you're using granulated sugar, like I do, the way I keep mine from settling is doing prep cooks. Be basically muddling in advance. So I take my lemons, add my sugar, and I'll muddle. I add a little bit of water, put the lid on, I'll shake it. Shake, 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 shake. And I'll just sit it there. So that it's sitting there. You know, with being so hot outside, it just helps the sugar dissolve. And then once you add your flavored ice and water, once you get an order, and you don't have to shake as much because you already shook most of it up when you made the prep cook. You know, doing all that, like, the sugar is good. Like, if that doesn't work for you, you may have to decide to switch to simple syrup. And the last question is how to keep lemons from going bad. So if you go to an event or go set up and realize you have way too many lemons left over, they'll last you a week in the refrigerator, or maybe even longer, depending on how you put them in the refrigerator, I guess. But yeah, another way to keep them from going bad, besides putting them in the refrigerator, like if you don't have any room in your refrigerator, is to put them in a cooler like that one, or, you know, however big you need it, for however many lemons you have, and just put ice in them and keep them iced up pretty much until you use them. I mean, that's a good way. If you like have a ton of lemons or whatever, that's a good way to keep them from going bad. But yeah, just definitely don't leave them at room temperature. So yeah, you guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if y'all have any more questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will be sure to answer them. And I will see y'all for the next video. Bye, y'all.